Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 21 video. In today's episode, we're going to be rebuilding the Denver Broncos, who seem to just have all types of injuries. I think Drew Lock isn't even starting next week. I don't know if he got injured. I don't know for sure, but Courtland Sutton and Von Miller are out. I'm pretty sure Von Miller is out for the season, so that's going to be a big thing. Rebuilding this team is going to be a hard thing. The Jets and the Broncos do play tonight. That's going to be the most boring game ever. They're both 0-3. Both of them eventually have to get a win, so tonight is the night for one of them. But let's jump into it. And here we are with the overlook of the team as we have Drew Lock here. So we're not going to be drafting a QB considering he already has star development, so that's pretty good. And we have Melvin Gordon, Phillip Lindsay, Courtland Sutton here because we are turning injuries off, with mid and elite as a superstar ability. And we have Jerry Jeudy here, who I think may have superstar development. Could be really good. No offense, this O-line is overall pretty good. Nothing amazing. DeMar Dotson's pretty bad. And defensively, Von Miller should be here, but I guess he's not showing up. And we have AJ Boye here, who we're probably going to trade because he's old. I know we just got him in free agency, but we are going to trade him just because he's old. And Kareem Jackson, he's pretty old too. He's going to regress hard with normal development. So it looks like we're going to trade him away too. And everyone else here isn't that great apart from Justin Simmons, who's amazing, very underrated safety. Special teams wise is pretty good. And specialists are actually very great, a lot better than I thought they were going to be. But apart from that, guys, it is time to jump into some trades. And for the first trade, we are trading away our strong safety, our right tackle, and a 7th round pick for a projected number 2 from the Chicago Bears. Next, we are trading away AJ Boye and a left end for a 1st and a 5th from the Cardinals. AJ Boye is just too old and his cap hit's pretty high. And this is what the team looks like. We're not doing too many trades because I know a lot of you guys complain whenever I make it too unrealistic, because sometimes I'll do things like put Barkley and stuff on the team, which is completely unrealistic, but that's what the team looks like. So apart from that, guys, it is time to jump into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a bye week as we are 4-3, doing a lot better than I expected. Third in the division, though, as the Las Vegas Raiders are 5-2 at the top of the division. We have players to resign, such as Justin Simmons, who deserves a huge contract, and he does want one. So we are going to resign him for that, and he does stay with the team. Phillip Lindsay, don't really have an interest in, and Alexander Johnson, he's 28 years old. I don't think he'll last throughout this rebuild that long, so I can't resign him. And I don't have any interest in this left outside linebacker, though. He's 27 and he's only a 72 overall. I doubt he'll make it to an 80 overall. There's no one else here, so apart from that, guys, it is time to get into the playoffs. I'm really sorry, guys, but I lost the playoffs clip. I don't know where it is, but we didn't make the playoffs. Just want to let you guys know that. I'm sorry clips, but let's jump into the offseason. And here we are in the offseason, as of course we didn't make the playoffs before. Sorry I didn't show that clip, guys, because I lost it and I'm just terrible at my job. But this isn't even a job. I'm not even getting paid. I don't even do ads. So you guys should definitely hit that subscribe button because you get no ads, and this is a great channel. It definitely is. Thank you guys for your support on the Wheel of Franchise. But again, Alexander Johnson, I just can't re-sign him. He's already regressing. You see it there. I just can't do anything about it. And apart from that, so we're going to look into the team to see if there's any development upgrades, as Jerry Jeudy does have superstar developments. I'm kind of surprised by that. Ability short and elite. This is his only ability with an 81 overall superstar development. And looking into the defense, Von Miller is here, of course, because he just now loaded in. And everything here looks the same. Don't really notice anything new. And apart from that, guys, it is time to jump into free agency. Here we are after free agency as we picked up Alvin Kamara, however you want to pronounce it. 91 overall superstar development with Matchup Nightmare and RB Apprentice. Defensively, we got Damian Harris Sr. and Jarrell Casey's been here, but Damian Harris Sr. is just like, you know, he was a little cheap pickup, but he's like a rental player. He's old. He's not going to develop into much. But apart from that, guys, it is time to jump into the draft. And here we are in the draft as we're picking up a defensive tackle, 76 overall, normal development. Now we are picking up a right guard, 74 overall, normal development, Lamar Collins, ranked number 15, picked him up at number 6. Next, we're picking up a strong safety, 73 overall, normal development, 22 years old, ranked number 19, picked him up at number 23. And this is what the team looks like after the draft, as the CPU did draft a star better left tackle. I don't know who he is because I definitely didn't draft him. But defensively, actually looks worse this year, not going to lie. And we also picked up Levi Wallace in free agency. I forgot to mention that. But hopefully it will improve with the rookies and the free agents as we go on. So apart from that, guys, it is time to jump into the midseason mark. And here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, as we are 4-3, third in the division once again behind the LA Chargers, and we have players to resign such as Von Miller, 93 overall superstar development, and we will resign him, and he does stay with the team. Cortland Sutton, 89 overall superstar development. We obviously got to keep him around. He wants more money. We're going to definitely give it to him. I can't resign Melvin Gordon. He's just too old, and I don't think he'll make it past an 85. Bryce Callahan, 80 overall, star development defensive back, and 29 years old. 2 years may seem good to me, maybe 3, that could work. And he does stay with the team. And I know it's kind of weird to resign him in the second season like that, but I don't think he'll drop below a 75, so that works for me. But apart from that, everything looks pretty good to me, so I'd say it's time to jump into the playoffs. And here we are in the playoffs, not making the playoffs, coming off a win to the Giants, as we are 8-8, third in the division is how we finished. Very poor way to finish. But Drew Lock wasn't even great. 19th best offense and 23rd best defense. Alvin Kamara is here too. Drew Lock, 3,500 yards, 30 TDs, and 9 interceptions. Alvin Kamara, 11 TDs and 1,300 yards, was a monster. Noah Fant was all right. And defensively, Dalton Murray, the rookie with the most tackles. Tackles for a loss, 11 for Von Miller, and sacks is 12.5 for Von Miller. Interceptions is 3 for Levi Wallace, and safeties is 0, and offensive touchdowns is 0. So apart from that, guys, I would say that it is time to jump into the offseason. Here we are in the offseason as the Dallas Cowboys beat the Jacksonville Jaguars in the Super Bowl. Very unrealistic, but Cortland Sutton is here, 90 overall and superstar development. Wants a big contract, and we're going to obviously have to give it to him. He is our number one receiver, and he's probably going to stay that way throughout the entire rebuild as he stays with the team. Melvin Gordon, he's regressed 1 overall, and we already have Alvin Kamara, so I don't need to re-sign him, and there's nobody else here that interests me. So apart from that, guys, we're going to look into the team to see what else is here, what we can do. Drew Lock is progressing. Overall, not bad, not fast, though. And it looks like Dalton Murray now has star development, considering that he had the most tackles on the team. As you do see there, it says plus star dev. And apart from that, everything else looks pretty good to me with him. Well, 76 overall isn't too bad. I don't think he'll get to an 85 in this rebuild. You never know. But everything else does look pretty good, once again, as I'm saying it. So let's get into free agency. And here we are in free agency. And the O-line does look the same, as we got Rojo as the second string, and we got Michael Gallup. So this team is looking pretty good overall, especially in its wide receiver core. Drew Lock just needs to perform, as we got J.J. Watt on the defense. Even more of a pass rush. This D-line is looking amazing. Linebacking core is looking all right. But apart from that, guys, I would say that it's time to jump into the draft. And here we are in the draft, as we're picking up Dalton Stills, a middle linebacker, 74 overall, normal development. Picked him up at number 9. Next, we're picking up a defensive back, 73 overall, hidden development. Matt Fort, ranked number 14, picked him up at 16. And here we are after the draft, as O-line is actually looking a lot better. And defensively, we did get Matt Fort here and middle linebacker, so that makes things look a little bit better. And I'm going to keep Matt Fort at third string defensive back. Maybe he'll move into the slot. But apart from that, guys, it is time to jump into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a bye week. And we are 4-3 once again, but second in the division this time, behind the Kansas City Chiefs. And we have players to resign such as Bradley Chubb, and we're obviously going to want to keep him around. And Bradley Chubb, does he resign? He wants more money. Okay. And Dalton Reisner is here as well. 82 overall, star development, 27 years old. He's a guard, so he won't regress that hard, and he does stay on the team. Mitchell Trubisky is here, and that worries me. Is he starting over Drew Lock? I hope he is not. And he is not. Okay, that's good. I guess he was just a second string that we signed in free agency. So we're not going to re-sign Mitchell Trubisky, obviously. He was obviously on a one-year deal. So that's a no-go. And Jarrell Casey, no, I don't think I want him. Drew Lock is here, and we're going to have to give him a big contract just for him to stay. He wants more money. We're going to give it to him at the end of the season. But there's nobody else here that I would like to have on the team. So apart from that, it is time to jump into the playoffs. And we actually made the playoffs coming off a win to the LA Chargers. We are 10-6, and we won the division. Very surprising. And Drew Lock did not do great. 22nd best in the NFL for offense, but 7th best defense. And Drew Lock, 3,700 yards, 28 TDs, 7 interceptions. Alvin Kamara, 8 TDs, 1,300 yards. Cortland Sutton did all right, nothing amazing. And defensively, Dalton Murray, again, with the most tackles on the team, most tackles for a loss, goes to J.J. Watt with 21, sacks is 10.5, and for J.J. Watt and Bradley Chubb. Interceptions is 3 for Dalton Murray, probably going to be a superstar development, and these is 1 for Damian Harris Sr. and Dalton Murray, and defensive touchdowns is 0. Dalton Murray is tearing things up. I don't know about you guys, but that is definitely seems like defensive player of the year to me. No, not really. Maybe not. But we're going to see if we can beat the Patriots in the wild card, and we do, crushing them 52-12 as we are here to face the 11-4-1 Buffalo Bills. Can we do it to move on to the AFC Championship? And we can, and oh my god, I hate facing the Browns in any of the playoffs. They're just Madden simulation gods, and it's so annoying playing the Browns because you can't ever win. It's really just you hope you win by like a 10% chance. And here we are, as it is 19-10 in the third quarter, now 19-17. They're going to come back. They always do. There it is, 19-24. And Browns, Madden simulation gods. It seems like having a better offense in Madden is way better than having a better defense. It's so stupid. But 25-32, let's hop in. And we lost. I'm here in the offseason now. I lost the clip for that too. I know this video is definitely pretty bad for you guys because you don't get to see a lot of clips, but we lost. If we won, you would definitely be seeing the Super Bowl now. But we re-signed Bradley Chubb, and we're going to have to re-sign Drew Lock as well. He didn't progress nearly to what I wanted him to. I wanted him to be at least an 85 by his final season, but he's only an 80 overall, which is overall not good at all. No pun intended there. But apart from that, guys, we're going to look into the team to see if there's any development upgrades. Offensively, I do not see any, and defensively, Dalton Murray with the superstar development. I am not surprised by that. What a monster. Strip specialist, 80 overall, and apart from that, everything else kind of looks good here, and Matt Fort has star development, 77 overall. So apart from that, let's jump into free agency. And here we are in free agency, as we only have $5 million to spend. We can't really use any of that money, so let's get into the draft. Here we are in the draft as we're picking up another middle linebacker, Anthony Dickens. I'm like a 4-year-old. Deal with it. Okay, now this is the team after the draft. I know this rebuild has been very boring for some of you guys. Some of you guys missed some clips, and some of you guys just don't really like it because I'm not really doing anything in the playoffs, and you guys don't really see anything at all. So apart from that, guys, that's what the team looks like after the draft, and let's jump into the midseason mark. And here we are in the midseason mark on a bye week, coming off a loss to the Las Vegas Raiders, and we are 4-4, bottom of the division. Not looking good for us, but we have players to resign. But just like every year in the final season, I don't resign them because I don't need to resign them because it is the final season. So apart from that, guys, it is time to jump into the playoffs. And here we are in the playoffs, missing the playoffs once again, as we finish 6-10. How did we go from 4-4 to 6-10? Drew Lock actually had a good year, finally, but we went 6-10. Terrible defense, pretty good offense, 4,200 yards, 25 TDs, 17 interceptions, 13 TDs, 1,200 yards. Cortland Sutton had an amazing year. Noah Fant had an amazing year. Overall, great. The offensive burst that we finally needed, but defensively, we did terrible. Tackles for a loss goes to J.J. Watt. Sacks goes to Von Miller and Bradley Chubb. Both got double digits. Interceptions was horrible. only 1 for most people on the team. Safeties is 1 for Dalton Stills, and defensive touchdowns is 0. But anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this video. I know that this one was definitely a very boring one because we do much on the team, but overall I wasn't too disappointed. I was mainly just disappointed with Drew Lock. I wasn't disappointed with the free agency moves. It was just Drew Lock never had the great season that I wanted him to. But apart from that, guys, I would say it's time to end out the video like it always is, and I'll see y'all in the next one.